We're going to be making a seitan stew with a bed of rice. We're first going to wash the rice. Then we have 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water. We're just going to add the two together. Put it on the heat. I'm going to put it on high. Now while the rice is going, we're going to chop up our garlic and our onion. We also have our potato, our kale, we're going to slice that, and our carrots. I like to start with the garlic, it's a little bit harder to do. So I like to just cut the bottom off the garlic and then crush it till it pops. Take the skin right off of it. Our rice is boiled. Add a teaspoon of salt to it. Already add a little bit when it's boiling. We turn it down to low. We're going to let it cook off until it's nice and fluffy. I crushed the garlic so the skins would remove easily. Use your good chef knife. Dice it one time one way. That looks pretty good. Now we're going to chop the onion. We take off the roots. A little bit at the top. I like to chop it in half. Save that. Make sure you at least put it in your compost, nothing else. And then we dice it 4 times one way. 1, 2. Dice it so it's 3 cuts, 4 pieces. And you can just roughly chop it because we're going to saute it. Put it in the bowl. We got the carrot. These are the baby ones. All organic, everything we're cooking, of course. Not too small. But I think that I make little bite sizes is good. That's only what I think. You could throw them in their whole if you wanted. Now we're done chopping the carrots. Put them back in the bowl. It's nice to have everything prepared for us when we get ready to do what we're going to do. And we'll chop will be our potatoes. We got 4 nice size red skin potatoes here. just have 2 chunks. I think we'll be good in this. I've already pre-washed the potatoes, of course. Take a nice vegetable brush to them. Put those in your most favorite bowl. Again, we'll put those in the most favorite bowl of yours. We're going to steam the potatoes first, so we have to have a pan with a strainer, and we take just about enough water to cover it, a 1/2 inch. In this pan, it's about 3/4 of a cup. Turn our burner on high, add all our potatoes, get to a boil, and then turn it down to just a simmer until they're done as well. Now those are going to take a little while to cook, so you can open up your favorite bottle of wine, start enjoying. These 2 items, potatoes and the rice, is done. We'll start with our main pan where we'll put our aromatics, some olive oil, and we'll add our carrots as well once our aromatics have gone. I like to start with the onions, then add the garlic and the carrots to the saute pan and let them cook down for a little while. Should be done. Yep. See how it's created the little bubbles on it? I turn it off and let it just sit in the pan until we're ready to use it. The last thing we're going to have to cut up is the kale. We'll have the kale easily chopped onto strips. Just try to lay all the leaves down on one level. When you see it's getting down to the fibrous ends, check which ones look good, and then I like to just take off the leaves. That's pretty good. Then we turn it one more time, and then at that point we bring it across the other side. And then we can just return it to our plate. Next is the aromatics. We start with some olive oil, then we do the onions, garlic, and then let the carrots start cooking once these have made the house smell great. We're going to use our favorite cast iron pan. Turn the heat on to a good temperature. Let it warm up. Put your oil in. That was about a tablespoon. It'll go through the whole meal. What I like to do is put a piece in there, and when it starts to go off, it's good. Now that the onion's starting to go, you can add the rest of them in there. That was the whole onion. Make sure you have a good sizzle in the frying pan while you're sauteing. You're going to let these cook down until they're almost translucent. They're already changing color on us. The pan was very hot, so I like to move it around a lot. This is a good time to put in your black pepper, freshly crushed, of course. I don't like to add any salt too early into the meal. Then you can make sure it doesn't get too salty as well. These have about turned translucent, so we'll add our garlic. The garlic will cook better after the onions are translucent. They'll give you a good flavor. The onions are more translucent now, so you can also add the carrots are going to go in next. You'll let it sit there for about 5 minutes. Our potatoes should be ready. We take a fork, we stick it into one, and it goes in very easily. Our carrot and onion mixture is cooking very nicely in this pan. We're going to move it over to the smaller burner so that we can start on our roux in our big pan. We have about 3 tablespoons of butter in here. We're melting 3 tablespoons of butter in this pan. And once it melts, we'll add our flour. Once the butter is all melted, we'll add some flour. It looks like it'll take more than that. It's better to go in steps to make sure that you don't add too much flour to it. The roux will cook for a little while to toast the flour to get out a lot of good flavor. 1 bouillon cube. I'll add that to the roux. Mix that up a little bit. Go to my nice mixture over here. Mixed in now. We'll add our water, some potatoes. Smells great. If the roux is still too thick, which it might be, we'll just add some nice filtered water and some wine. As we add the wine and the water to the roux, we'll mix it some, and we're going to add our potatoes right away. Potatoes are in there. We'll add our seitan, our mock meat. Smelling good. I'm going to add some more black pepper, some garlic. As you can see, the sauce is coming together nicely, covering all of our delicious items in here. our carrots, their onions, our garlic. Almost ready to come in here too. Seitan and potatoes looking great, and now it's time to add our carrots, onions, and garlic. So now, all those items are nicely incorporated in my delicious sauce, and we're going to put the kale on top. So then we're going to mix in our kale. Just cover this up. In about 3 minutes, we'll be ready to eat. It's going to be delicious. This meal ends with our rice on the bottom and our beautiful seitan beef stew on top.